This is a T422 production.
If you want to talk some Simpsons, we do it with distinction. Insert brain here. With Springfield in our vision, our spirit is embiggened. Insert brain here. Flanders, Quimby, Otto, Man, the Hasapima, pedal on. Insert brain here. We've got Simpsons to ponder. Here comes David and Connor. Insert brain here.
Welcome back to Insert Brain Here, a Simpsons podcast. I'm your host Connor, and with me, as always, every week, is my co-host, David.
That is me. I am in fact here.
Good for you.
Good.
Today we're talking about Season 2, Episode 20, The War of the Simpsons. Original air date, the 2nd of May, 1991.
Very good.
Now, David, you're looking at me with fear in your eyes.
Fear, loathing, a little bit of both.
And we're not even in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Trepidation.
Yeah.
Could you please give me a brief summary of this episode of The Simpsons?
I'll do my best. Okay, so this episode, it opens up with the Simpsons family gearing up
Get
for
away from me, podcast dog.
fucking Jesus.
We're recording a podcast here and you're sniffing and looking at me. Sorry, I was assaulted by a podcast dog.
Hey, you.
Start your recap fresh.
This episode opens up with the Simpsons family gearing up for a party,
Yes.
an adult party, so the kids get told to go to bed. The party is a general disaster because Homer gets absolutely hammered on Ned's special concoction, whatever it is.
Whatever's in that drink.
Yeah.
Rum and whiskey and
Something else.
something.
He said something, but I didn't recognise what it was. Probably an American thing, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
A gun.
probably. Liquefied gun.
That's the one.
So he's hammered on that, causes an absolute scene at the party. Problems. Passed out. Wakes up the next day, still lying on the floor, etc. Now it's a Sunday, so Marge decides she's going to church alone.
Mm-hmm.
So she's off to church.
Because Homer's explaining what he did to Bart.
Yes, aye. So Homer decides to rock up to church as well, mostly to speak to Marge. Doesn't really get that opportunity.
Who's looking after the kids at this point?
Well, Grandpa was sitting there already, I think. Or was...
He's there later on in the scene sitting on the couch asleep.
good point.
But who's looking after Maggie especially? That baby.
No one.
Because
No
Marge
one.
is alone at church when Homer meets her.
Absolutely no one.
Neglectful parents.
Very good.
Carry on.
At the end of the service, the pastor,
Reverend Lovejoy.
that's him, Reverend Lovejoy, is explaining in the sermon about his sort of couples retreat that he does for sprucing up and sort of like repairing marriages.
Yeah.
And saying sign up after the sermon just out by the door. So Marge signs them both up.
Despite Homer's complaining.
Yep.
And then they're unable to find a babysitter.
Yes.
Because the babysitter they call has a terrible memory of Bart and runs away. So they have to turn to Grandpa Simpson.
Grandpa Simpson, who wakes up on the couch.
Yep.
Snoozing his daytime snooze.
Yep.
He's left in charge of the kids, and they bugger off to this where Homer's been told, you're not allowed to fish.
He tried to pack his fishing gear and was prevented, and then sneakily put it in the boot anyway.
At last minute, yep.
Mm-hmm. But they head off.
On the way up the road, when they're driving there, he sees a bait and tackle shop, so he's like...
And it's also a gas station.
It's a gas station as well, yeah.
So he's like,
Typical
well, I
sort of
better
duo.
fill up my car, even though it's already full, basically.
Yeah. An excuse to stop there and get some bait.
worms.
Yeah. Get some bait, finds out about General Sherman, the giant catfish. A massive monstrosity no one's ever managed to actually catch.
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh, I'll catch that. That'd be great.
I'll be a hero to these weirdos
Yep.
in the bait shop.
Yeah, just sitting there smoking and playing cards.
Aye.
They go off, continue up to Catfish Lake.
Yes. They sit down with the other two couples who are there with
Yes.
Reverend Lovejoy and Helen Lovejoy.
Yes.
Ned Flanders and his
so-
wife Maude and another couple.
Yes, that's the ones. And so they sort of go around the couples saying, you know, what are your problems? Why are you here, basically?
The Flanders have fairly minimal problems. Reverend Lovejoy is able to cure the other couple pretty much instantly.
Yeah.
And so they move on to Homer and Marge.
Yes, and they start with Homer. What's your problems with Marge?
He can't really find anything, but Marge complains about Homer until the sun goes down and the day is over and the luau is finished.
Yeah, they missed the luau and everything, so it's time to go to bed.
Aye.
Homer sets an alarm for in the morning to go fishing early. The idea is to go at 5, catch it, eat it, come back, go back to bed. No one knows.
Yeah.
He gets caught by Marge and told no fishing.
He's like, all right, well, I care about this marriage, so I'll get back into bed with you.
And then he can't get to sleep, so he says, can I go for a walk? She said, okay. Goes down, ends up, some random guy was fishing down on the Catfish Lake. He picks up the rod to tell him, that's your rod.
You've left your, and it yanks him into the water.
Yanks him into a boat. He catches the catfish. Marge is pissed off because he's not there at the couple's retreat. And she saw him out on the water in the boat, getting yanked around the place. Comes down to the dock as he's rowing in with his catch. And then basically they have a wee bit of back and forth, and Homer pushes the fish back into the water. His champion catch, right? They would make him famous.
Because Marge told him to.
Because Marge told him to. And he said, basically,
you think this marriage is in trouble?
This marriage is fine because I just did that. What I love would have been to have this fish, and I put it back because you said I should.
Yeah.
So Marge swoons and lets them back off the retreat.
But what's going on in the B plot that you've skipped over?
The B plot, that I completely skipped over.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it nice and brief,
But the B plot, David, what's the B plot?
The B plot is the kids running Grandpa ragged. Yeah. Basically.
They have a party in the house.
Yeah, they make up lists that they say Marge wrote.
Bart's smoking cigars.
He's smoking cigars.
They're buying shopping and it's just ice cream and Frosties and such.
Then they have a sort of penultimate party at the end and then feel bad because Grandpa's crying and they clean up.
Yeah.
Homer and Marge get back and they say house looks great, and then Grandpa said,
all I had to do was pretend to cry.
Laughs all about that and then saunters off down the street, and
that's the end of the episode.
That's it. Yep.
Great recap, David. That's the theme for Eye on Springfield, the segment in this show where I go over characters who've made their first appearance in this episode.
Yep.
First appearance of Chester Turley.
See, one of the old guys in the fishing tackle shop.
Wrong-o.
See the guy that owns the fishing tackle shop.
Wrong-o.
See the guy doing the filling up of the gas.
Wrong-o. I'll give you a hint. This is
he the dude that left the fishing rod?
Wrong. Put the wrong theme in there.
Wait. Is he the married man that's got the terrible marriage with his wife?
You mean the guy that says King of the Harpies? The guy that says Queen of the Harpies?
Oh, Queen of the Harpies. Yeah.
Wrong.
Okay.
Put the wrong theme in right here.
Yeah, we're going to have to. It's a lot.
I'll give you a clue. This is a recurring character who shows up frequently in the future.
Some fucker at the party? Is he the dude that doesn't know Homer and it's their wives that know each other?
Wrong party.
Fucking hell.
The party that Bart throws.
Oh, wait, he's the guy that was scratching the thing on the fucking wall in the jail cell. Is that not him?
That's correct, David. Chester Turley, also known as Snake Jailbird.
There we go. Fucking
Snake Jailbird is his alias.
Right.
Which he usually goes by, but I thought if I said, who's Snake Jailbird, you'd go, that's the guy in the fucking jail cell.
Yeah.
I think he's only called Chester Turley in one episode.
Really? Oh, nice.
Yep. One or two.
Mm-hmm.
David, who is Gloria? It just occurred to me I should hide my phone because I had it pointed towards you with an image of the character. So there's a hint. It's a character who makes a physical appearance.
Very good. Is that the wife of the couple at the retreat that we don't
That's the Queen of the Harpies, yes.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Gloria is a parody of Martha from the play Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Oh, okay. I didn't notice.
Yep. David, who is Worm Man?
Is he the dude at the bait and tackle shop who's selling the worms?
Yes.
Right.
David, who is General Sherman?
That'd be the giant fish.
Yes.
Yeah.
David, who is John?
Is that woman's husband?
Yes.
Gloria's husband?
Full marks.
Well.
Aside from, kind of.
17 guesses later, I got full marks.
They were all first guesses besides Snake Jailbird, a.k.a. Professor Chester Turley. If I had included Professor in there, I'd have been...
I'd have been fucking lost.
I wish I had. I only just noticed it.
Jesus.
John is also a parody of the character George from Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
Right.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. That's the end of Ion Springfield.
Just a question. Have we seen the guy that Homer was ranting to before? At his party at the start?
No. But I tried to find his name and I couldn't. I couldn't even find like party guest and a photo of him on any websites. So fuck him. Doesn't count.
Alright, good.
If there's no record of him on like the Simpsons wiki or the Simpsons fandom, then I'm not.
Then
I'm not making up a name for them.
Yeah. Blonde dude that gets yelled at by Homer, thinking it's Mr. Burns.
Yeah. Who's his wife who's friends with Marge? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. Marge doesn't have any friends.
Yeah. David, I have a question for you regarding this episode.
Okay, yeah.
Do you think Homer got away too light at the end?
Yes.
So do I.
Yes, I do.
He didn't change.
No.
He didn't learn his lesson.
Nope.
He didn't even apologise to Marge, really.
No, he did not. He didn't apologise, at least on screen with us there. He watching it, he didn't apologise at any point there. He didn't outright apologise, and he also didn't really kind of apologise either.
Didn't act like he was sorry. He didn't go to the couples counselling, the marriage counselling.
No. Marge just swooned and let him get away with it for some fucking reason.
Threw that fish back.
Yeah.
The fish wasn't even a factor during the original party where the issues arose.
Yeah, another party comes up, he's still going to get blutered and ruin it.
Yeah, and stare down Maude's dress and getting in an argument with Dr. Hibbert and all that.
He didn't even apologise to Maude.
Or to Dr. Hibbert.
Yeah, or to Ned. Anyone.
Or to that guy that he shouted at.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever that guy was.
Yeah. The unnamed guy. Yeah, they could have done better. To be honest, if they left out the fishing element
I think
altogether,
they should have dropped that entirely, yeah.
Then they could have actually done something with the couples retreat and had shown a bit of growth in Homer. Yeah,
actually done a couples retreat episode instead of just they show up and then Marge complains about Homer and then he doesn't show up the next day and then they leave.
Yeah.
They do. I imagine they do couples retreat episodes at some point down the line.
Probably, yeah.
They're
bound to.
But still.
Could have knocked one out early and it would have been a much better episode. It would have worked better as a story anyway.
Yeah. And I do like the General Sherman jokes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't think they're good enough to where it's worth sacrificing the plot of the episode for.
No, I don't think so either.
It's actually to the point where I think the B plot is a lot more even spread and has a much more satisfying conclusion.
Yeah, I would say so as well.
Mm.
To be honest, the whole thing with the B plot of the kids sort of pulling the wool over Grandpa's eyes.
And then getting manipulated back.
Yeah. I love that because both sides of it, that's a very common thing. Come on, when you're a kid and your grandpas or grandparents are looking after you, you try and do your best to pull the wool over their eyes. Like, yeah, I always stay up this late or whatever, It's shit like that, but obviously they're taking it to the extreme. But still...
cartoonish extreme, you could say.
Yes, cartoonish extreme. But it's still something that, like, that's something I remember doing as a kid.
Yeah.
after the holidays or whatever, you're chilling with your friends or whatever, and you're talking about this kind of shit, and you're hearing some stories of some of the other things that the other guys got up to, probably exaggerated and all that good stuff, but
Yeah, of course.
what they got up to and what they managed to like pull the wool over their grandparents' eyes or whatever, or their friends' mothers' eyes or whatever, getting away with stuff that they would never normally get away with at home.
Yeah.
But I love the conclusion. I love the fact that he got them back, basically.
Yeah.
Without having to lift a finger to clean the house
Exactly.
in the process.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that whole General Sherman fishing thing really drags the episode down.
It does,
The
yeah.
B plot's great.
Mm-hmm.
And the opening act, which kind of launches both the A plot and the B plot, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love all the stuff at the party and the aftermath of that.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, it's the retreat's next to a fishing lake, and Homer wants to go fishing, and so they're working on his marriage.
If you wanted the fishing lake thing in there, just because you were like, oh, that'd be, something. You tend to go to these sort of lakes to do these retreats and all this other shit.
Do you?
Maybe that's a common thing in America. I don't know.
I've never heard of it before.
Honestly, never
really.
even heard of a couples retreat until American movies came out with it.
I think they're not usually like a weekend at a fishing lake, though.
Probably not. But I have heard of, not
like,
couples retreats, but I have heard of church retreats and things like that.
Yeah,
and
that's
they
pretty
tend
common.
to be
in
those
America.
kind of places. They go to like camp sort of things.
Mm.
And that's typically like over a weekend or something like that.
They
So
should set a
that's not
Friday the
uncommon.
13th movie during one of those things.
That would be good, yeah. Watching a bunch of... yeah.
Someone's giving a sermon and then an axe
Just
gets
fucking-
launched through their chest.
yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful stuff.
Yeah. But
And then they're like, oh, Jason didn't finish killing us because he went fishing. He's in the shop buying a machete, and the fisherman behind the counter is like, oh,
Have you heard of General
Sherman's out in the water.
yeah. Oh, that was the other thing at the end as well. The whole
The story of General Sherman has expanded further to include Homer, who's described as being 7 foot tall with a
shock of red hair.
a shock of red hair, arms as thick as tree trunks,
Yeah.
and eyes like steel,
Yes.
cold and hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think overall, if they wanted to include a little bit of that, sort of like maybe the first gag of Homer trying to bring the fishing stuff,
That's
like
fine,
he's packing
but-
that.
Mm-hmm.
But that should have been where it ended. He didn't manage to get the fishing stuff in there. Maybe even stopped at the tackle shop, and the gas being full already, and he's like, fill her up.
Yeah.
While he goes in, doesn't hear anything about General Sherman. Maybe doesn't even buy any of that shit because it's either whatever or it just fucking ends the scene.
I think you can keep the fishing thing, right?
Yeah.
Cut out General Sherman. And that scene where Homer decides not to sneak out fishing and stay in bed with Marge, that's where you end it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then after that, when they do the second day,
and he genuinely just maybe goes out for a walk.
No,
when he
don't even
says-
do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
fair
have
enough.
him
Just stay in the bed.
goes back to bed.
Right.
And the
right.
next day, he actually tries at the retreat.
And it works, kind of thing, or it does a bit.
He fails at everything that they're trying to do, all the trust exercises, but it's the fact that he tries, because Homer would.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that he tries
Mm-hmm.
is what wins Marge over.
Yeah.
Rather than the reason that is that he doesn't try and he goes fishing and he does what he wants and catches the fish.
And then puts it back because she asked him to.
And he's like, oh, well, our marriage is fine then. No, it isn't.
No.
Your
Yes.
marriage is dreadful.
Yeah. You do absolutely nothing.
I
You're
think...
a worse than deadbeat husband.
Yeah, I think the thing with Maude, I think that's one of the worst things Homer's ever done.
Yeah.
I remember being like shocked and appalled when I first saw this as a little kid. Because it's just so... It's not like accidental. Like this is a future episode we haven't covered.
Right.
The episode where Homer gets in trouble because there's a gummy woman stuck on a babysitter's arse.
Right. Yeah.
And he peels her off and people think that he was groping her.
Yeah.
You know the episode I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's a mistake that Homer's made.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's not doing something intentionally creepy. But in this, he's intentionally tricking Maude into
it's
doing
like,
something.
oh,
so
can you
can
pass me some peanuts?
from the
from
bottom,
the bottom.
so that you can stare down her cleavage.
Yeah, so
and
she can lean further forward, so you can look further down
make
her
like a
chest.
horrible groaning noise.
Yeah, the sort of
Jesus.
shit going on there. And
It's your neighbour's wife. Don't covet thy neighbour's wife.
yeah.
That's probably in the Bible somewhere.
I mean, I'm surprised Maude was wearing something so low cut.
I'm not.
In general.
Or maybe she doesn't even think that would be suggestive.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe.
I'd be surprised by Flanders actually being like, "You sure about that?"
You'd be like, cover up, bitch.
Maybe.
Maybe you would. I don't know.
I don't think, he's a bit of a walkover, isn't he? So I don't think he would actually say anything, even if he didn't think it was appropriate.
I mean, I guess it is also
wearing.
suburbia in 1991. So I genuinely just think that their mind wouldn't go there. That would be something
maybe
to
not.
worry
Maybe
about.
not. Maybe it's just my wife looks good and no one's going to...
We're just going to the neighbour's house.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's going to happen
neighbour's
there.
house, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Homer's fucking creeping at her.
I know. What a pig.
Yeah.
Like all men, am I right, ladies?
Oh, man.
3 blind mice trivia. That's the sound of 3 blind mice trivia.
Yes.
The trivia segment of this show where I go over trivia from this episode of The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
David, are you ready for trivia?
Always.
Someone had submitted a script unsolicited that had this exact same storyline. Nobody at the show had even read the script, but when the show ended up going with the story despite the similarities, Fox paid the unsolicited scriptwriter the sum of $3,000, essentially to avoid any possible conflict that may arise.
That's almost unbelievable.
It's certainly interesting. Did the unsolicited script also feature a stupid catfish, or was it a better episode?
That'd be interesting.
I'd
find
love
out.
to read that unsolicited script.
Yeah. I'm sure it's in a Fox vault, burnt
Probably.
somewhere.
It would be burnt now because it'd be the Disney Vault.
Yeah, good point. It will be.
A big safe door that looks like Mickey Mouse. I mentioned this before. Marge was meant to have flesh showing in her shoulders. Like the dress went to her shoulders, and then it was like a strap top, and then bare arms until her gloves.
Yes, yeah.
Notice that she doesn't know. It was coloured wrong in animation.
Right.
So it's like a full dress that goes all the way down, and then it's a big pair of gloves. Real strange looking thing.
Yes, it is.
There was a scene in the script that featured Mo going up to Dr. Hibbert for free medical advice regarding the colour of his stool. At the table reading, Jim Brooks exclaimed, "Oh my dear God," and the joke was cut from the episode. Oh, this is a classic piece of 3 blind mice trivia.
Oh, very good.
In the church scene, for some reason, Hitler appears.
I saw.
You saw?
I saw.
I didn't see.
I saw. I was like, am I imagining shit?
We need to bring that episode up and have another look at it.
So Hitler appears, right? And
Is it a photo or is it the person?
no, it's an animated background character.
Adolf
Hitler. Except when he slightly turns his head to face a bit forward because he looks round.
Yeah.
Whenever, like everyone, when Homer walks in, he's one of the people that looks round. Some of his moustache disappears, so he looks like he's got the Hitler moustache.
Oh.
But when he turns back towards the front, he's got a full moustache again. And it's not quite a full moustache, but it's not a Hitler moustache.
Why would you sneak Hitler into a Simpsons episode?
I don't know if you would intentionally sneak Hitler
The
in.
fact that it's a piece of trivia, I think that was done intentionally.
But, yeah.
There you have it, folks. The story of Homer throwing up in someone's laundry hamper was based on an experience that one of the writers had. The trivia does not specify
Whether or not they threw up or whether one had their
the laundry
laundry hamper
hamper.
thrown
Yeah.
into.
There was a concern that Barney's shirt sticking out of his fly was going to be coloured wrong, making it seem much more explicit than it actually was.
Yeah. Yeah, I clocked the shirt. I
like
like that.
It's a nice little detail.
It was a nice touch. With
Is that
Barney.
the first time they've done that with Barney, or have they done it before?
I think that might be the first time with the fly.
No, I think there was another
Shirt.
episode where they did it before that we've mentioned.
Wait, no. When he comes to take
Patty or Selma.
Patty or Selma out,
Yes.
I think he's got his shirt sticking out his fly. I think it's just a different colour shirt.
Yeah.
It's a blue shirt or something, or whatever it is, but it's sticking out
Probably.
when he rocks up to take her out and she slams the door in his face, basically.
Very good.
Yeah.
David Silverman suggested the stylization of Homer's recollection of the previous night, as he was a big fan of Al Hutchersfield. He even brought a book into the studio.
Mm-hmm.
The sketch was meant to mimic the Algonquin Club characters.
All right. Nice. That's cool.
The panoramic scene was about 30 feet long.
That is awesome. I really like that.
Incredible.
I love that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for that later on.
Yeah.
The music on the babysitter flashback was inspired by which classic 70s horror movie, David?
The music from.
I clocked it when we watched it.
I did not clock it at all.
It was The Omen.
Really, was it?
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Bart tried to run her over with a fucking car as a baby, as a Maggie, basically sized.
The shot from inside the boot
Mm-hmm.
of Homer putting his
Mm-hmm.
was done before it was popularised by such 90s movies as Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, and Casino.
Nice.
It's done in all those movies, but it was done here first.
Right. That's cool.
The photo of General Sherman is based on the famous picture of the Loch Ness Monster,
Yeah.
of course. The premise of the fish with the General's name that needs to be caught is taken from an old Andy Griffiths episode. It was also inspired by Moby Dick and The Old Man and the Sea.
Okay. Makes sense.
Originally, there were going to be 2 other couples at the retreat.
Okay.
Oh my god. Mr. Burns with an Asian mail order bride.
I kind of wanted that now.
And Mrs. Krabappel with her estranged ex-husband, Ken Krabappel.
Get rid of the other 2 couples that are
I
actually
love
in it.
Queen of the Harpies.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
Here's your crown, Queen of the Harpies. That's one of my favourite jokes in the
keep
season.
that. That's fine. Get Ned and Maude out of there and
Yeah.
replace them 2 with these 2 couples instead.
Wow.
That would be something I'd like to see.
It played...
If they had fleshed out.
Hold on a second. I need to finish this trivia before
All right.
you-
Okay.
It played really badly at the table read. People thought Mr. Burns' bride was a prostitute, and Ken Krabappel had been written as a Dean Martin type character, but ended up having a southern accent. All of it was cut out. Jim Brooks had to come into the writer's room and spend a lot of time with the writers to fix this scene. Oh, Jesus.
Jesus.
That's how you know it's bad.
Must have been played out badly. I was going to say, if they had actually cut the fishing thing,
Yeah.
they'd have actually been able to spend a bit more time with this scene and those couples.
Yeah.
And therefore, it wouldn't have maybe come across as this person's just a prostitute and this person's like some weird southern Dean Martin fucking thing. If they'd maybe fixed him, or even maybe cut that couple.
I think there'd be a worry as well that the mail order bride thing would come across as racist.
But it's accurate though. Old people with money are frequently
Still.
married to young people that are basically bought.
I'll put it this way, there's no Asian female voice actress on the cast, so it's going to be a white actress doing a racist caricature voice.
Okay. That's fair enough. Cut them then.
It's going to be like Nancy Cartwright or Yardley Smith or someone else, or...
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, at this point, was the colouring not still happening in, what was it, Korea or something?
Yeah.
They couldn't have just gotten someone to do a whole bunch of Korean lines while they paid them to colour it?
Jesus, mate.
Just write out, like, just say
Oh,
anything.
there's like
say absolutely anything
'cause
Korean for like 4 minutes.
You have to follow SAG rules. Screen Actors Guild.
Of course.
You have to. It has to be an official actor. You can't just get some random off the street.
Yeah.
Once you start saying lines, you need to be part of SAG.
Right.
It's all sorts of regulations and shit in Hollywood. Here's a fun fact for you. Ken Krabappel is mentioned many times. He was mentioned in last week's episode.
Yeah.
He's never been seen physically.
Really?
So this would have been the only time that he appeared.
That'd have been pretty good.
Matt Groening's father, Homer, actually produced, directed, and filmed a syndicated fishing show called The Lucky Jim Adventure Show.
Never made it over the water, though.
No.
Because I have no idea what the fuck that is.
I guess it would have been, if it's Matt Groening's dad, it would have been like the 50s.
Yeah.
60s, maybe.
Yeah. Still never heard anything about it, though. Hiding or hair of it.
How many reality shows from the 50s are making it over to modern day UK?
True.
The line, I love you, I must kill you, is from The Old Man in the Sea.
Mm-hmm.
I clocked
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Matt Groening hated the winking fish at the end of the episode.
I kind of hate that, too.
Yeah, me too. David.
Mm-hmm. I'm worried that there's a who complained and why coming.
David, it's time for Who Complained and Why.
Fuck.
This is a segment in this show where I like to take David...
Segment within a segment.
A segment within a segment in which I take a bit of trivia, I twist it, and I hit David over the head with it.
Mm-hmm.
David, who complained and why?
If you listen to last
Sometimes
episode,
I change it. Sometimes it's why did someone complain? Sometimes it's who,
Mhm.
and here's the complaint, but who did it?
Mhm.
Sometimes last week it wasn't even a complaint; it was a
No.
compliment.
Yep.
Who complimented and why is what I should have called it, but I fucked it and I didn't.
Yep.
David, this time it's standard. Who complained and why?
Yeah.
What in this episode is complaint worthy?
Homer being drunk?
No,
Is it the looking down the
no,
top?
wrong-o. It's some rolling your eyes at some wrong-o there. It's something that I've mentioned thus far in our discussion.
It's not the Queen of the Harpies thing.
Queen of the Harpies. No, it's not that. That's straight from a play.
Yeah. Doesn't mean they won't complain about it.
I've never seen Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. I assume that
No.
that is actually in the play.
I haven't either, but I would
Queen of
imagine
the Harpies, here's your crown, your majesty.
it is.
David, who complained and why? Do you want a hint?
Please.
It wasn't the general public.
Wasn't Matt groaning about the fish?
No, I did that already.
Good.
That would really trip you up, though. I'll save that for a future episode. If I
Yeah.
tell you it and then ask you afterwards, I go, I
Yeah.
already told you.
I've already told you. The fuck?
I mentioned this during your recap. I made a point of mentioning it.
You make a point of mentioning a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of my job here on the podcast.
Yeah. Reel me in a bit.
Mention things about The Simpsons.
Yeah. Yeah. Just on occasion.
Sometimes.
Yeah, here
Sometimes we
and
talk
there.
about Tutankhamun.
Yeah. Last episode.
Yeah.
I was actually going to make a reference to the fact that he got beat over the back of the head.
That's why I said that.
Yeah.
And I was going to go with it, and then I thought, oh, if you haven't
Fuck it.
seen last week's episode.
Then you should have.
Yeah, that was a really good episode.
It was.
It didn't suck like
Cracking.
this one.
Exactly. So, who complained and why?
Who complained to why? Yeah, all right, yeah.
You got anything else? Any other clue? Any hint? Please. I'm begging.
It had something to do with the content of the episode.
Well, I guessed as much.
I don't know how much of a...
Ah, man. Right.
If I
Okay,
give you-
What
if-
specifically happened in this episode?
All right, here's the thing, right?
Hmm.
It's got nothing to do with Homer and Marge. It's not something from the A plot.
Is it Bart smoking the cigar?
Yes, it is, David. But
Yes.
who complained about it?
Oh, fuck.
That's
And it's not the general public.
No, that's the why. Was Bart smoking the cigarettes? Who would complain about Bart smoking his cigarettes before
Is
it
it not
hits the...
censorship?
Yes, David.
Right.
He's done it. Ding, ding, ding.
Nice. I'm kind of glad about that one.
The censors
it.
didn't want Bart to be allowed to smoke cigars.
But Grandpa mentions it And
I
it's
think
specifically mentioned in the list of things they are allowed to do.
I think
It's
mentioning it
handy.
is different to having the actual image. You'll notice that the cigar, it took me a minute to realise that the cigar is a cigar because it's drawn in such a strange way, and I think
Yeah.
that's maybe how they got around it.
Yeah.
But it's a big thing. Bart Mania is at its peak,
Yeah.
and then you have Bart in an episode smoking a cigar.
Smoking. Yeah.
It's not like they did a thing where he tries to smoke the cigar and he coughs and vomits.
Yeah.
Which is what would actually happen if a 10-year-old smoked a cigar.
Yeah, let's be honest.
What would happen if I smoked a cigar right now?
What happened if I fucking lit a cigar, let alone smoke one?
Yeah.
If I could sit there and burn the end of it, it would still fucking the reek that comes off of some of these cigars.
Yeah.
No chance, mate.
Awful.
I'd vomit with a cigarette.
Yeah,
let alone
so
a
would
fucking
I.
cigar.
Neither of us smoke.
No, clearly.
David, that's the end of 3 Blind Mice trivia.
Very good. Awesome. Good stuff.
What a segment.
I know. Riveting. Connor,
Yes, David.
what do you think?
Oh, let's try
About-
that again. Get a clean cut. A clean cut. Get a cream cut. Fucking hell. Give me a cream cut.
A cream-filled cup?
Yeah.
Give me a minute.
David, what was your favourite joke in this episode?
Probably, I think Grandpa Simpson. Although, wait, no. I think the wedding couple. Not the wedding couple. The married couple at the retreat.
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf one?
Yeah,
That's my favourite by far.
I think that's definitely the best joke. I think the grandpa joke is a pretty good joke as well. It stands alone.
That's quite good.
It's a long running thing and it's a good tie off as well.
It feels like classic Grandpa Simpson.
Yes,
The kind of version of Grandpa Simpson that we'll probably see more of going forward.
yeah.
That we saw
definitely.
in Old Money.
Yes, old
Previous
money.
episode of the show.
Yeah.
But no, the Queen of the Harpies, that's my favourite joke.
Yeah.
Maybe of the season, honestly. I think
Yeah.
I quote that occasionally.
Yeah.
I just find myself thinking, here's your crown, Queen of the Harpies.
Yeah.
I'm going to look that up and see if it isn't Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
Yeah.
Really break the magic. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Queen of the Harpies.
Really? Nice.
I'm going to play a YouTube video now.
Yeah.
This is a shit episode, eh?
Yep.
Scarring up half the world if you want to, but let somebody else try it. Oh, no. My baby, I did it all for you. I thought you'd like it, sweetheart. It's to your taste, blood, carnage, and all. I thought you'd sort of get excited, sort of heave and pant and come running at me. Your melon's bobbling.
You have really screwed up, George.
Oh, come on.
I mean it. You really have.
But at least you were onto yourself. I didn't know.
I'm onto myself.
No, you're sick.
Queen of the Harpies. Apparently the answer is no.
No.
I don't know why that came up as like the first search result.
Are we going to have to keep in
Are they
3
definite?
minutes of that shit
I'll cut most of it out.
just for you to go, Queen of the Harpies at the end of it for that joke to make any sense?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
I'm okay with that.
I have a factoid. No, the line Queen of the Harpies does not originate in the movie or the play Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
Right. Okay.
It originates from The Simpsons, but the characters are based on...
Yeah, his voice is kind of a little bit.
His design is spot on. Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't see the video clip because I played it
Right.
from my phone,
Yeah.
but his design is absolutely spot on.
Nice.
Hers is kind of loose,
Yeah.
more modernised, because the film came out in 1966.
Yeah.
I think it's set earlier because it was based on the play, but
Yeah.
that was Liz Taylor, by the way.
Nice.
Queen of the Harpies. How much this episode is just me saying Queen of the Harpies.
Quite a few.
It's
Quite a
your
few
crown,
times.
your majesty. God, I love that.
Yeah. But I think that joke is probably one of the things that actually like really saves this episode a bit.
Saves the A plot anyway.
Yeah.
Or the second half of the A plot.
Yeah, second half.
I
The
love
first
the-
half is great.
I love the party stuff.
I love it.
Meme Spot.
Oh,
Famous segment
shit.
Meme Spot that I almost
It's-
forgot about. It slipped my mind.
rocked up again for the first time in a long time.
The scene of Homer's memory of the night before,
Yeah.
where he's talking, someone's like, oh, there's a fly. Oh,
Yeah, I know.
there's a fly in my drink. And Homer goes, I put it there as a bit of a gag. That's a famous meme.
Oh, yeah, so it is.
Yeah.
So it is.
Connor's one bit of animation that he actually quite liked. Absolutely
Can
get
get fucked.
Get fucked this episode. Connor's one bit of animation that he actually quite
Get
liked
fucked.
is that panning shot where it goes from Homer's recollection of the elegant party man that he was the night before, and it spins round in a circle, and you get that really long panning shot, like, what was it, 80 feet of animation?
30 feet.
30 feet of I've more than doubled it, almost tripled it.
Yeah.
30 feet of animation as it spins round, and you get the real faces, though distorted,
Yeah.
of the angry partygoers
Yeah.
looking
And
at
the
Homer in
distorted
disgust.
backgrounds and
Yeah,
things. Yeah.
that is incredible. And then
Yeah.
the shot of him looking down Maude's dress and her noticing, and all the other characters' heads point,
Yeah. They all
poking
sort of
into
like
frame.
spindle around. Yeah.
and then Ned and then Marge. That's absolutely incredible. The first act of this absolutely carries it.
Yeah.
This entire episode.
Yes.
That third act, the more we talk about it, the more I'm turning against it.
Yeah.
The entire General Sherman thing reminds me of the very worst aspects of the first season.
Yes. Me too.
Especially the Call of the Simpsons. My least favourite Simpsons episode so far.
Yeah.
Oh, David, what was your one bit of animation that you actually quite liked?
Ditto.
The same?
The same.
What did you like about it?
The exact same.
Talk about it for a minute or two.
Mate, you've spoken about it, all of it.
How does
The
it
one
feel?
bit that I could have
How does
actually
it feel?
Oh,
Sometimes it's usually the other way around.
yeah, I know.
You do your one bit of animation, and then no one asks, and I state mine, and it's met with silent gruntling.
But this episode instead, you hijacked my one bit of animation that
Your,
I actually quite liked.
your only segment.
Yes, my only segment.
I hijacked it and I rode it into the sunset.
Bareback. Raw dogged.
And I did mean the spot.
Yep. Every segment so far. Yours.
Alright,
I've
David,
had
I'm
fuck
gonna.
all to do with it.
You did recap.
Barely.
Yeah. I'll edit it so that I do recap as well.
Good.
David, I'm gonna hand it over to you. I'm gonna let you have this segment.
What's that?
Boy, I sure hope someone got fired for that blunder.
I didn't even fucking spot anything.
Yeah, you did.
What did I spot?
I
What
don't
did I
remember.
point out
You
to you?
definitely paused the episode a few times and pointed out errors and such.
Oh, shit.
Jesus Christ, David. You've
Yeah.
dropped the ball again.
Well, I was busy thinking about the one bit of animation I liked.
You don't usually put that much thought into it.
No, I
When
don't
I- when I
normally
s-
because this one's a particularly good one.
This is the episode where the whole podcast falls apart.
Ah, it's fucking gone. isn't
Here's
it?
your crown, your majesty. Queen of the Harpies. This has been Insert Brain here, a Simpsons podcast. I've been your host, Connor, and with me, as always, has been the Queen of my Harpies, David.
That's me.
Will we be...
Oh, no one's going to believe we're sober. No one is going to believe we're sober. I think this is worse than the drunk episode.
No, nothing's worse than that.
That's true.
We'll
I mean, this is worse than the edited drunk episode.
we'll be back.
Next week, episode 21.
We'll be back next week for episode 21, in which we cover 3 men and a comic book.
Very good.
A truly classic episode of The
that is a good one.
Simpsons.
That was a good one.
You can follow us on Instagram at InsertBrainHerePod or on Twitter at T422.
Yep.
Check out our website,
Website.
insertbrainhere.podcastpage.io.
Mm-hmm.
This has been a T422 production. Smell you
Smell you
later.
later.
Anything else you want to add, David, before we cut?
Nothing. I'm done. I'm out. I've run out of things to say.
You said 5 words this entire podcast.
And all of them were right at the end.
Nothing to add.
I I'm switched off upstairs.
And
I'm
downstairs.
rock hard everywhere else.
Oh. Bye.